dismissed them in his book entitled The Reconstruction of Religious Thought in Islam. And Ibn Khaldun also dismissed them as fabrications, which is why Ibn Khaldun is so famous in the Western world. Now you can understand why. Because he dismissed the ahadith on Imam Al Mahdi alayhi salam as fabrications. What they didn't understand is that there's a divine method. That when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent the Messiah the first time, He raised a man to prepare the way for the coming of the Messiah. That man was his cousin, Nabi Yahya alayhi salam, the Prophet John. And when Nabi Isa alayhi salam returned as an adult to the Holy Land, it was in front of Nabi Yahya alayhi salam that he came. And Nabi Yahya alayhi salam says, here he is, this is the man you've been waiting for. This is the Messiah. The divine method of positive identification. History repeats itself, but Ibn Khaldun missed the bus. And Dr. Muhammad Iqbal missed the bus. And may Allah bless them, they're very great scholars. We are nothing compared to them. And so when the Messiah is to come back, Allah raises a man to play the same role that Nabi Yahya alayhi salam played. And that is the rationale for Imam Al Mahdi. And when Nabi Isa alayhi salam descends in the masjid, in Damascus, not Tripoli, Imam Al Mahdi will be in the masjid. They'll be ready preparing for salat. And before the salat could commence, he comes down. And Imam Al Mahdi will look at him and say, this is the Messiah. Positive identification. Repeating itself, the divine methodology. Before that happens, Imam Al Mahdi has to proclaim himself to be the Mahdi in Mecca. You may have heard my lecture, it's on YouTube. When he proclaims himself as the Mahdi in Mecca, he's going to be attacked by an army from Sham. Which means that the believers are not going to be in control of Damascus from now until that day. Are you following me? He's going to be attacked by an army from Sham. Damascus today is not only ruled by a sectarian Shia movement that is oppressing the majority Sunni Muslims, brutal suppression, but also Damascus today is the supreme voice in the Arab world of Arab nationalism, taking over from Baghdad. Arab nationalism is a rival to Islam. And so an army is going to come out of Sham to attack Imam Al Mahdi. And when an army crosses Medina, going south to Mecca, the earth will open and swallow that army. This is the third of the three khusuf. 10 major signs of the last day. Number 1, Dajjal. Number 2, Gog and Magog. Number 3, the return of the son of Mary. Number 4, Dukhan. Number 5, Dabbatul Ard. Number 6, that the sun will rise from the west. Number 7, 8 and 9, 3 earthquakes. But these are earthquakes in which the earth sinks down. So they're called khusuf. One in the east, one in the west, and the third in Arabia, not Tamansri, UK, Arabia. And when this takes place, that army is going to be swallowed. This is sign number 9. And number 10 is that the fire will come out of Yemen. And let us pause for a moment to pay tribute to our brother, Rahimahullah, Sheikh Anwar Al-Awlaki. I don't think there's need to say more than one statement about Anwar Al-Awlaki. Nabi Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam said, my ummah is like the rain. My ummah is like the rain. I do not know which shower is better, the first or the last. Anwar Al-Awlaki belongs to the last shower. That is his status. May Allah grant him Jannah. So these are the 10 major signs of the last day. And now that army is swallowed by the earth. Damascus has one more importance, and that is that Dajjal is also going to be in Damascus. When Nabi Isa alayhi salam comes down, Imam Al Mahdi is in the masjid. The salat takes place. After the salat is over, Imam Al Mahdi, the Nabi Isa alayhi salam will say, open the gates, because the masjid is barricaded. And Dajjal will be outside. And when Dajjal sees Nabi Isa alayhi salam, his fright will be such that he'll melt the way salt melts in water. And so we do not treat Damascus so easily. We do not analyze the uprisings and the insurrection in Damascus, in Syria, from a limited perspective. Rather, we're looking at it in a long-term perspective. What's going to happen between now and that moment when Nabi Isa alayhi salam returns? We know that Israel will have to wage a big wars. Maybe we postpone our international Islamic retreat because we're expecting those wars to commence soon, maybe within the next 1 year. But before I end, I want to direct your attention to the fact that Britain did not give way to the United States as a second ruling state before Britain was placed in a situation where she was facing defeat. Germany in the First World War used a new weapon of war never used before. Germany used the submarine. And German submarines had marooned Britain. And Britain had enough food to survive for probably another 2 weeks. Britain was going to lose the war had the United States not intervened. I say this to you so that you would think. The Zionists then went to the United States. Well, first of all, they went to Britain and said, let's make a deal. You're going to lose the war. Let's make a deal. So Britain asked, what do you want? We want Jerusalem. We want the Holy Land. And that's how the Balfour Declaration came out. And then the Zionists went to work and they rode over, what's his name again? They went with the Ford Muluka? Henry Ford? The most popular American at that time. More popular than the president. And he was opposing American intervention in the war. And yet the Zionists succeeded. And they brought the United States into the war. And so I say to you that in order for Israel to replace the United States, a trap has to be set for the United States. And the United States has to suffer a fall, a big fall, in consequence of